Tyler, for people that aren't familiar with your story, I know you've told it a lot, but I think it's really important. This is something we really embrace on the Roast Rotation is how in this sport, above every other sport, have a lot of respect for them, but nobody deals with failure the way that baseball players do. You were, I think, the number 11 overall pick by the Rockies in the draft. Great debut. Then literally you got the yips and you lost it. Why didn't you quit?
I wanted to. I definitely wanted to. The most frustrating part for me was that, like, when you get the yips, you don't know what's going on, and you haven't. It took me a very long time to accept, like, hey, you have the yips. So for all of 15, I was like, I don't know it's something with my mechanics, and then 16, it was like, maybe something's wrong with my arm. Maybe I have thoracic outlet syndrome, and then I do all the tests, and it would come back negative. 17, I was like, maybe I have like a brain tumor. Like I went through all of these different things where, like,
wait, you really thought you had a brain tumor?
I really thought I had a brain tumor. I was like, why is my arm not working the way it has for the first 30 years of my life, whatever it was, 25 years of my life? Why is my arm not working the way it is? I thought I had like a nerve injury or a nerve issue, nerve disease. I don't know, brain cancer, like brain tumor. I had all these things run through my head of like, maybe it's one of these. But what kind of shied me away from that was like, okay, I can do it sometimes and other times I can't. So it's something else. And it just drove me down the line of like, or the path of like, okay, well, let's figure this out. And, it finally started to turn around when I just accepted, okay, you have the yips. You have the yips. It's something you got. Let's learn as much as we can about it. Let's figure it out. Let's find all the resources and let's just go full bore at it. And that was in 2000 and probably like late 2017, where I finally was just like, all right, I got some kind of mental block going on. Let's figure it out. Went and saw a guy named Jason Kuhn. He's a Navy SEAL, ex-Navy SEAL. And interesting little side thing about his story is he was a collegiate baseball player. He got the yips. Everyone told him, hey, you're mentally weak. That's why you can't play baseball. He said, what's the most mentally tough thing I can possibly do on the planet? Well, I'm going to go be a Navy SEAL. So he went and became a Navy SEAL, had a successful Navy SEAL career, learned a lot of things mentally that he wished he would have known when he was going through the yips. And so he started a company called Stonewall Solution to go ahead and help other athletes and help other teams get through mental blocks and also team camaraderie stuff. Got in contact with him and we got to work. And, it was a bunch of stuff. And, I worked with him for probably very closely for probably like 6 months. And then I contact him all the time now, whenever I need him. And he changed my life, man, changed my perspective on the world. And I just went full board any problem I had in front of me. And I think step one of that whole process was accepting that I had the yips, 2, attacking it, and then 3, like finding the people that will actually help you attack that. Then 2019, the Braves picked me up at Indy Ball. Was okay in Indy Ball, or okay in when I first made it to AAA, and then 2020 was able to make the team out of spring training. But yeah, it was. I mean, that's the abbreviated short version of the story.
Wow,
what a badass thing to do.
It was quite a journey. 2017, I didn't play at all. You know what I mean? Like that's when I really thought I was going to give it up. My wife was just like, "Hey, I think you have more to offer the game." And then I was like, all right, you know what? If she's going to stick by my side through all of this, like I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do it. Let's find whatever resource I can. My ex-teammate, Michael McCrenner, was the one who hooked me up with Jason Kuhn. And from that moment on, my life like just changed. And not instantly, but because it was a lot of hard work, but that decision to go ahead and go out and meet Jason in person and do that whole thing was what changed my life.
It's amazing. Did he make you do Navy SEAL workouts and shit? Please tell me.
Oh, we did a bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah.
God. Oh, that's so sick.
I wasn't playing ball at that point. Like, yeah, I think like I was a nobody. I was at home sitting on my couch for a whole season. He had me doing a whole bunch of stuff. One of the worst things, this is the one I tell because this is the worst thing, is there's a hill that we took this out to this land, this big open land. We ran like for all day and just basically he just tries to beat you up. And there was this hill that's like a 45-degree hill, maybe a little less. and you take a big, like 15-pound med ball. And Michael McHenry was my workout mate, right? And so he was down there at the bottom doing squats, and he had to keep squatting, doing squats as long as I had to push this ball up the hill. Well, you push the ball up the hill, you have to run, stop it. So every time you push it up, it's rolling down. This was miserable. And I was feeling absolutely terrible, right? And so the lesson out of this was Jason was standing right next to me, and he's yelling at me. He said, you better go, because yeah, you're going to be in pain. You feel like shit, you're hurting, but it doesn't matter that you're going to be hurting. You're going to hurt because you're going to get this done no matter what. But what you can do, what you can control, is how much pain your teammate is in. He's into pain. The faster you go, the quicker he's out of pain. You're going to be in pain, period, no matter what. The faster you go, the quicker he's out of pain. So it was little lessons like that, where we were doing through physical pain and all that stuff, that it was just one of the building blocks that he had me going. He also had me doing, he'd have me run and do a bunch of just exercises to get me super fatigued, super tired, super just not like in it, lethargic, nauseous, whatever. And then he's want me to do a finite motor skill. So we were in a gun range. And so he's like, all right, I want you to take the pistol. I'm a decent shot, and I want you just to hit that target. And it's easy to do when you're feeling fine, feeling comfortable, everything's going well, and you feel good. You're just showing up to a gun range. But when you are absolutely exhausted and everything's shaking, your body's feeling terrible, you feel like you're going to throw up, the simple task of just shooting a little target becomes extremely hard. So how do you control and calm your mind down to get to a point where you can go back to making it a very simple task? And it's the same thing when you're out on the mound playing. If you're in a bullpen, it's easy just to throw a strike. But when you get out there, you get all this energy, all these people, you got the situation, you have the hitter, you have the umpire, you have the mounds messed up, all this stuff. How do you just simplify and go, I'm going to do what I need to do. I need to hit the target. I'm going to figure it out. That's how I'm going to do it. Cool. There's adversity. Sounds good. Let's do it. Stuff like that, man. Yeah. So, that was a couple of the things, but yeah, that's just a small example, but yeah, it was things like that.